When did you first start working at CDS?
I started working at CDS in 1977.
What has been your involvement in the Keeping Tabs sculpture?
Well, I had several different types of involvements. Number one, my son was in the class that started it, so I helped collect a lot of the tabs, bringing them in. I was part of the people who kept moving the blocks from the third floor down to the basement. We used them for exploratories. I got to adopt a block, which meant I got to take it home with a bag of tabs and put the tabs in one at a time. I worked with the kids that were part of the artists in residence, and they got to think of the designs and what we were going to do with the tabs. And with all the committees as we were planning, seeing the final product and finally getting the funding to have it built.
How do you feel about how the sculpture is being used today?
I think it's fantastic. I love seeing groups of students, groups of adults coming and actually learning, asking questions and finding out about the sculpture. I love seeing our students being docents and really showing what they know about the sculpture.
When did you first hear about the sculpture and what were your thoughts?
The first time was when we were trying to make a decision as to what we were going to do with the tabs. And then when the students finally came up with different designs and we merged them. And I thought it was fantastic. I thought that Pittsburgh needed some kind of a living monument, and what better place to have it than a school?
How would you like this sculpture to impact the next generation and how we live in society today?
Well, I think the sculpture gets you to think, to ask, and to learn. And by learning about the past, hopefully we won't repeat its mistakes and we'll be better off for it.
What is your connection to the Holocaust and how does it affect your Jewish identity?
Well, first of all, I'm a child of two survivors, so it's always been a part of my life. I taught Jewish studies before I was head of Hebrew and Jewish studies, so I was very involved in educating children. And the way it's impacted me is really trying to make a statement to our students, to the youth of today, about what kind of people we want them to be, what we want them to represent, how we want them to stand up for what is right, so that we don't let something like this ever happen again.
How does the sculpture make you feel and understand what happened during the Holocaust?
I think it really makes you stop and think, especially when you look at every single block and you see the tabs laying in different directions, having different colors. It really makes you identify with the fact that they represent individuals. So when you're looking at it, it's really hard to grasp your mind about the number of people, but looking at it puts it a little bit more into perspective.
As a leader in the school, how do you try and influence the students to want not only to coexist, but embrace people's differences?
Well, I think part of what we do as a school, by encouraging our students to go out, to be active, by exposing them to different thoughts and different ideas, we're trying to create very responsible human beings, not just responsible to us as a Jewish community, but being involved in all communities.